We can go ahead and get started. My name's Alexis Skeen, and we are group 5.
I'm Owen.
I'm Dal.
I'm Solomon.
And so to kind of get started and give you guys an idea, so when we were brainstorming, kind of our overarching theme, I guess you would say, is that while all of our schools and our universities are different, we each had our own pride, our own school, and our own university. And so throughout, we tried to think of ideas in ways that we could kind of tweak them for our individual school, but at the same time, all of our ideas were universal and could be applied at any school. So.
And a couple of ways that we came up with to spread the word about this app is get in contact with local newspapers or school newspapers, either get articles published or buy ads to inform people about the app or to let them know about an upcoming contest that either we ourselves or different organizations could put on with Caption This and Caption Back. And then also captionable promotion cards put in places like student centers, libraries, and just different places around campus. And this is just a very cheap and effective way to reach a lot of people. And then tabling in traffic areas on campus are quads, and it's just a very easy and efficient way to make individual contact with people and allow them to just get informed about the app, what we're trying to do, and how they can use it in different ways.
So we came up with the concept of Captionable U, which is basically entails that each of the campus ambassadors would create an account on Captionable, along with a personal account if they wanted to, of say like Captionable NU or Captionable UGA, and so this would be a university account. And I think this would be a really good idea to unite the university community together on Captionable, because if you have a personal account, people who register on Captionable who aren't necessarily your immediate connections might not be as willing to follow you, but with a university handle, I think more people would be willing to, I guess, show pride in their university. And it's also a way to show the uniqueness, because like we mentioned in the introduction, that each university has its own personality, its own character, traditions, and I think there's a lot of things that bring these students together, whether it's individuals on campus, the mascot, or football games, campus events. And through Captionable U, we would have each ambassador unite the university on one portal and have, we could have caption this contest. And to follow that up, we thought that maybe it would be an effective to have a Facebook page, but it would be important to say that the Facebook page wouldn't be too, it wouldn't replace any of the content on the app. It would just be a way to, for example, promote a contest. Say we would have a theme for 1 week, like city life or school spirit, and the winner would win a gift card, and the person with the best caption would, we would judge the best caption. So I think the Facebook page would just be a way for people to receive updates, whether there would be updates about competitions or updates with the app. And so we created a sample account, and so this was for, I go to Northwestern, and so we did a sample account for Captionable NU. And it would be things like this where people would guess. Like, for example, one big thing on our campus is that the library kind of looks like a spaceship, and you can't really see that in the picture as well, but it's kind of like a running joke. And I think that would be something that the Northwestern community would really understand, and people would find that, like, they would say, like, oh yeah, I've heard this on campus. So that's kind of an example of what we would do with Captionable U. And also you could, stop people on the street and have something that would keep people coming back to the app, like have a style competition every week. So the most stylish person on campus this week, and people would check the app to see who it was. Maybe it's their friend, maybe it's them, and these kind of things to just make each campus portal unique and keep people coming back.
All right, and we had one idea that didn't necessarily have to do with schools as much. There's going to be a caption in this contest, and I know there's a Captionable official account on Captionable. But so it could be a monthly thing or just a one-time thing. But the idea was that they would create a theme, and then or a hashtag, and then have the users take pictures and caption stuff having to do with that hashtag. So we use the example city light. So if you're around a city, you can just take a picture of a building or so and then make a cool caption. And then the ambassadors or Captionable representatives could look through the submissions through the hashtag and determine a first, second, and third place winner. And it could be an inexpensive item like a gift card, or if you wanted to go bigger, it could be like a technology device or something like that. And then second and third place could get like $50 or $25 gift cards, and then also be recognized in a Captionable official post.
Yeah, and then so ways that we could kind of reach other groups on university campuses. The first one is potentially using Captionable as an outlet to show research breakthroughs. So I know I go to UGA, and a lot of funding for state universities like UGA is through research, and professors are really encouraged to publish and promote research. So maybe tapping into the science departments, the vet school, things like that, where we could have members from those departments kind of go into the lab and take a picture that day, and the caption could be like, "We found the cure to cancer," or like, I don't know, maybe not that big of a breakthrough, but like something that students normally aren't interested in, like research, and making that more accessible to them through something like Captionable would be really beneficial. Another thing is archiving university history. So I know a lot of universities are very prideful about their alumni and traditions and founders' days and things like that. And I know a lot of universities also have museums, like UGA has the Special Collections Library on campus. And so tapping into those things could be, or Captionable could tap into those sort of things through targeting places like the Office of Admissions or like Student Alumni Council at your university, those types of things to document, special holidays, special founders' days, special memorials on campus. And then also we tried to think about philanthropy and Greek life because I know that's really important on a lot of our campuses. So potentially we came up with the idea of, a Greek life, like a specific sorority or fraternity or a specific philanthropy, making a picture and then turning it over to students and saying, whoever comes up, whoever can guess the caption, like for every person that gets it correct, will donate $1. So that could be another way to fundraise and kind of use this as a form of charity, which could be very beneficial and have greater outreach beyond our universities. And that actually, I believe, sums it up for us. So does the panel or anyone else in the audience have any questions?
I have a question. What do you think is the hardest thing to implement of all those ideas?
I think it's an easy thing to create the accounts for the Captionable U, and then it's another thing to get people actively excited about it and actively using the service. So in my opinion, I don't know what the rest of you, but I think that'd be pretty challenging.
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about, it's one thing to get individual users, but to get groups to really start using, even like outside university organizations or like corporations to start using Captionable. The incentive would be, their incentive is that if so many people use it and it's a popular app and it's really successful and it has a lot of engagement, then groups, whether it's student groups or brand names or corporations, have more of an incentive to create accounts on Captionable and engage with their users. But I think the first step is getting enough people to use the app, and then the bigger challenge is getting people to really like establish like a brand or a group on it.
My question, one of your earlier ideas when you were talking about putting up things around campus and having tables and stuff like that, did you talk about a plan for what interval you do that on and how you get the resources? Was that discussed, or I didn't know if you had time to go into that?
I mean, we had the idea to do, like someone brought it up earlier in the group discussion about flyering and doing things like that. And usually around campus, like in some campuses, flyering is a big thing, posters. things. And I guess every couple of weeks, when the app launches, it would be important to keep it going. And because cars get turned down all the time, you know, people overlook things. And so I think in the beginning, it's important to place the posters or stickers or the T-shirts to have people, it really catch someone's eye. Maybe when the app gets more popular, it can be less frequent, but it would be important to have intervals of over a couple of weeks to redo the posters and redo the stickers.
I agree.
And I think more specifically, I actually came up with that idea, and I know at UGA tabling is really important because we have kind of a central location. And I guess I was thinking more for me because I know we have 3 ambassadors for UGA, so it would be very feasible for the 3 of us to kind of pull together and be able to man a table. But I kind of understand what you're saying, you know, with universities that maybe only have 1 representative, it would be much harder, you know, to try to get someone to man a table for, you know, 5 hours or whatever, that sort of thing. So I think it would depend, you know, maybe in other universities, maybe flyers would be more appropriate or the stickers versus having a table where you can stand there for an hour or 2.
Well, I would encourage you guys, I think the interval is the right answer. I think, you know, being able to have something on a regular interval, because the first time they might ignore it, second time they might ignore it, third time they might pick it up and they might check it out. But if you don't, you know, it's that fleeting, I think that regularity might help.
Hey, Chris, just so I'm super clear, what was everybody asked to do?
Give a presentation on their plan to get user activations and played posts this spring and beyond.
I have a question about the Captionable You idea that you guys came up with, which I think is smart, but do you foresee that being like a really exclusive community where it's just, you know, alumni or kids that are going to that school or participating in those games, or how do you engage other schools or members who didn't go to that school to play? Or is it just about that school?
I think at this point, we discussed earlier that it was pretty hard to just make like a group, just put the group, you have to select each individual person and stuff like that. So I think it is something where it's like, it might be like a Twitter account or something where it's public, but only kids that are involved in that school or that community are inclined to follow it. Others can, but they wouldn't most likely like understand the content that's being posted there. So I think it would be a public thing, but it would be, you know, more geared towards this.
We just thought it was, for a start, to truly promote people and like familiarize people with what the app is about and get people to start using it. It would help them to have a familiar portal or an account to follow. But I think with more users, it will, you know, Captionable has that option to create more groups and categories, and there was one about fun facts, one about celebrities, and so I think it will become and grow. But for starters, because we're each, you know, going off to universities and targeting our group of friends and the communities there, it would be a good first step and maybe a successful first step to get people to really start using the app and start engaging with these different categories or hashtags.
How do you get people to off campus? How do you build mass?
Outside of the university? I guess when we were thinking that as university students start picking this app up and they, you know, someone will tell their friends and it really becomes like a bigger community, then, you know, there's a lot of places and small businesses in college towns that would have more of an incentive to also create their own accounts, and maybe we talked about like coffee shops or Starbucks or cafes having little competitions with Captionable and having them caption photos, and then awarding like a free drink or something small. And that would be a way to engage with their customers and engage with students, and, you know, after students, it could potentially move on to target a larger and older or younger age group.
And also, I'm still in high school, but I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, so it's a pretty like medium-sized city, and I think I could do sort of a similar thing. Maybe not the Captionable You, but with the flyering and stuff like that, I could still, there are still coffee shops and places in my city on the every direction that I could still do the same sort of, put the flyer up and advertise and put the stickers every place. So it's
I'm intrigued with the caption this idea. Could you expand just a little bit on what kind of ideas you had for different topics on that?
Yeah, so if it was something that caught on, there is like a captionable, am I correct that there's a captionable captionable account?
Yes, there's actually, I mean, there's a couple of them, but
Okay.
yeah.
So like a central one that,
Yeah, and we haven't figured out all the deals on how we're going to use that, but we can create accounts that everybody follow automatically if we need to.
okay, so something like that, or you could take it down a notch and just do one of our accounts where you would get like a, I just thought of like a Amazon gift card because everybody loves Amazon, but they would come up with a theme for, if it was like a monthly thing, they could do it every month where they would create like a hashtags for that month, and maybe it's a 2-week period where you could take pictures and submit using the hashtag and adding the hashtag in the comments, so it would automatically go to this little section of the app where then after the 2 weeks is over, moderators can look at the content that was posted and choose their favorites, and then from there, award prizes to first, second, and third place. And then recognize them on the official page. Hey, here's our winner of the month. Go check that page.
And that's something that kind of exists but doesn't have like a way to be executed, because if you say, I follow certain products or brands on Instagram, and sometimes they'll post a picture of a scenario with like the product in the image, and they'll say caption this, and you see a lot of like Instagram users commenting, and some people are really creative and have these great captions and great humor, or you know, so many different ideas. And I was looking at that, and there was something a week ago on Instagram with something similar to that. So I think it would be cool to have people do something like that that's all about captioning on Captionable. So we thought that would work really well.
Talking about Instagram, I was going to ask you too. You're talking a lot about flyers and stickers and everything. Have you thought about using any other digital channels to promote the app? Any other social networks, or any other digital like blog that you guys are on? Just any other digital channels to promote it?
So there are, websites like Reddit's a really popular one where you're anonymous because you haven't had a username and stuff like that. So there's definitely places you could advertise. That's not so much advertise and self-promote on that website, and then you kind of encourage that in certain areas. And then even with like Twitter and things like that, I know on like a lot of Instagram accounts you go and read their bio and they'll have the links to like their Twitter account and maybe their Snapchat or something like that. So eventually you could say like, add me on Captionable, here's my username, and then just that, it could kind of catch on that way.
2 minutes? 2 minutes.
It would just be another way. So like we said, with people having all these lists on their blogs or their Facebook pages linking to their other social media accounts, I think Captionable could potentially be another one of those. So people say, check me out on Pinterest, check me out on SoundCloud, check me out on Tumblr, and then check me out on Captionable could be another
And
thing.
it's something you haven't seen yet, so people will be curious, especially if it's a figure that they look up to or something who has it. They'll be curious, like, oh, I've never seen this before, and they'll immediately follow it and then start checking it out.
But how do you get people to say follow me on Captionable in the first place? What's the incentive for them to do that?
Well, I guess that would come with people just using the app frequently. And so it's not something we expect immediately. But I think what if, students become familiar with it and it becomes a name that people recognize, college campuses always have certain individuals who are really popular and are just really good at social media, and they always have a lot of following on whether it's their Facebook or their Twitter or their Instagram. So I think it would just be something that would happen down the road.
When I say broadcast yourself, you think of,
YouTube.
when I say captionable, you think of, what's the thing? Give me captionable in a sentence.
Instagram with
Hangman. Instagram is Hangman.
Yeah, so broadcast yourself isn't video, right? So I would encourage, I think you want to get to a thing that is more benefit driven as opposed to descriptive, right? Broadcast yourself is nice because it's both, right? It's descriptive of what YouTube does, but it also captures a benefit, right? Everybody has this sort of hidden desire to be famous, or at least 5 minutes of fame, 15 minutes of fame, or whatever. So you wanna get super, super clear on what captionable value proposition is.
That's great, guys.